Hey everybody, it's Tao at the Forge again, and guess what I'm going to talk about today? Well, it's pretty much the same as what everyone else is talking about. It's Winota. So, Winota is the newest thing from the new set in Vicoria. It is ridiculous, okay, and really, really hard to deal with. It's got a ton of redundancy, and basically you have to interact with it like super, super fast. Otherwise, you're just screwed, all right? And everyone's complaining because it's just really broken. All right, so I'll give you a quick run through of my deck. It's pretty much the same type of deck that almost everyone else is running. For sure, you have to have 4 of Charming Prince, 4 of Raise the Alarm. 4 of Tide Taker is actually just to really interact with your opponent and give you a chump blocker. And he starts off as a human, but then later on becomes a spirit. So it's nice. It also makes flash and control a little bit more difficult for your opponent. Omen of the Seas just for digging, Fire Prophecies for digging and a little bit of removal. Chandra's just there to create a threat and also to create some elementals for you to attack with once Winota is on the battlefield. And then you got things like Legion War Boss, Teferi, Winota, and of course 4 Agents of Treachery and then your assorted lands. Right? So for those of you guys that don't know, what you do is on let's say turn 2, you get down like a Tithe Taker or something like that. Turn 3, you typically just hold up your mana, and on your opponent's end step, then you cast a Raise the Alarm. And these guys, even though they look like humans, they're not humans. They're just plain old soldiers, right? And so then on your next turn, on turn 4, hopefully your opponent has tapped out or the coast is clear for you to cast it. You get down Winota and just swing with everything you got. And basically, that means that Winota is going to get 2 triggers, and you get to look at the top 12 cards of your library. If you get the 2 triggers, 6 each from the Raise the Alarm tokens, and you get to just put all sorts of like stuff onto the battlefield. Probably the most devastating thing is, of course, Agent of Treachery. You just get to put it onto the battlefield, and then you get to take your opponent's stuff. The worst is if you get Agent of Treachery and then Charming Prince, because Charming Prince can exile Agent of Treachery and it'll come back at the end step, and you get to steal something again. Now, this card is totally, totally broken, right? It's so fast, and because it does everything on your opponent's end step, you basically have between the time that they cast it and the combat, like that fraction of a turn to deal with it, or you're just screwed, right? There's just no way to deal with this, and they start stealing all your stuff, like your lands or your best creatures or whatever. It's really hard to deal with it, right? And there's a ton of wins that you can get with this. The other thing is that the creatures that you get with Winota, when they come into the battlefield tapped and attacking, they are indestructible too, so you can't even destroy them. And then Agent of Treachery, when he steals stuff, you actually don't have to give it back when he gets destroyed. You just keep it, right? So you can just steal a person's whole set of lands, you can steal their best creatures or whatever, and you never have to give it back, right? So it's not saying that you can't lose with this deck, but it's very, very annoying. It's very fast. And one of the things that people have, if you play Commander, is that people don't like you to play with their toys, right? So people don't like you to play with their cards. And so when you start stealing all their stuff, if you steal one thing, okay, but you start stealing things again and again and again, it's just ridiculous. So if you look at this, for instance, this is a screenshot of one of the matches I was playing, and yeah, I just crushed my opponent with that. It was super ridiculous. So I basically took over all of their stuff, including all their lands, and even that prison realm that they had captured one thing, because I just had nothing else to take over. So yeah, and you can see I'm swinging in for a ton. They literally have nothing left on board, right? So what I'd suggest is actually if this is the kind of deck style you like, go ahead and play it, but you should expect that this card is probably going to get banned. Right? And they might go and try and ban Agent of Treachery. That's probably more likely because it's not as new. Like if you ban a card right out of the new set, then people are going to be upset. But they're probably going to try and ban Agent of Treachery, but that's just going to make things it's not going to fix anything. People are just going to find something even just as broken to put in. So anyways, that's my advice for now. Like people are just going to put in like gigantic like 2020s or whatever like creatures they're going to find to put in there. So, um, anyways, get it now, but be aware that if you go out and buy this card, it's probably going to get banned, and you're probably going to lose a lot of value. So, buyer beware. The good thing is that in Arena, if they ban a card, they usually give you usually give you wild cards to replace it. So I was okay with building this deck. Plus, I had also picked up a couple of them already because of the Ikoria sealed deck, and you would have seen that in the previous sealed deck tutorial that I had made. So, anyways, that's it for now. Let me know what you think. Do you think Winota is totally broken, or do you think she's just fine? I suspect that you're going to say she's broken. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.